College, Mokiri. His presence adds immense value to our seminar, and we look forward to gaining profound insights from his address. On behalf of the Department of Language and Literature, I extend a hearty welcome to you, sir. May I extend a hearty welcome to Father Sunalam Anthony, Director, Self-Financing Programs, who is presiding over the function today. He has been relentlessly working towards creating an ideal environment for the teachers and students to realize their full potential. Hearty welcome, Father. May I welcome Dr. Wilson Rocky, Vice Principal and Associate Professor, Department of English, whose commitment to ensuring the excellence of the college is praiseworthy. Welcome, sir. May I also welcome Dr. Sanathanan Velluva, Academic Coordinator, who is always a source of constant inspiration and motivation. Welcome, sir. I wholeheartedly welcome the head of the department, Dr. C.V. Abraham, whose continuous support and encouragement have been instrumental in making events like these a reality. Welcome, sir. I also welcome Ms. Lata Mani, Assistant HOD, and my dear colleagues to this event. Let me also welcome Mr. Remo and Mr. Atul Krishna, Department of Media Studies, who is rendering technical assistance to organize the seminar that transcends physical boundaries. Today, we are not only gathered here in person, but also joined by a virtual audience from across the nation. I welcome all the participants present here and online, including students, teachers, and research scholars from various institutions. Your presence enriches the intellectual atmosphere of this seminar. I wish the seminar serve you a platform for meaningful dialogues, insightful presentations, and the exchange of innovative ideas. Once again, a hearty welcome to you all. Let's embark on this intellectual journey and make this one-day seminar a successful and enriching one. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. With great joy, let me invite Reverend Father Sunil M. Anthony, Director, Self-Financing Programs, for the Presidential Address.
Respected Chief Guest and Resource Person of the day, Dr. Arun Lal, Vice Principal, Dr. Wilson Rocky, Academic Coordinator, Dr. Sanathanan, HOD, Dr. C.B. Abraham, your faculty members and my dear students. Today is yet another beautiful day for the Department of Language and Literature. You celebrate the Department Fest Tribe and the different dimensions of this celebration this year has got different types of uniqueness. Why I say this is because there's a perfect mixture of celebration, academics, maybe scholarly discussions, and even your creative, different types of your creative interventions are very much seen in the different areas of this type celebration. So let me, at the very outset, congratulate the whole department, faculty members and the coordinators, and the whole student group of Department of Language and Literature, for that matter. Today, we have got very enterprising personality in literature, I would say like that. It's pleasing for me to share a stage with him too, because Dr. Arun Lal, when we were almost studying together in the same years here in Devagiri, when he did his PG here in Devagiri, I was doing my degree studies. So we were really looking upon him like he was a genius during that time itself. He has got rank in university in different, maybe for PG programs when he studied here, MA English, did his MA English here. And even during his uh, student period, he has been intervening in the field of literature, and also he has been giving lot to the field of literature. So you have got a very good resource person for this seminar. So hearty welcome back to Devagiri also. And along with this, um, when I went through the brochure of this national seminar, the different topics you are dealing are also very much relevant for the day. Intelligence and how you can introduce or understand the relevance of that concept in literature. That's very important today. Um, the last word in the name, that is simulation. I am very much maybe more than other two terms. I have been introduced to the word simulation when I studied my management and MBA. We had these simulation classes and simulation workshops. We did it in the context of business. Um, a business organization as such is being simulated using technology in the classroom. We understand how the HR department works, how the IT department work, and we create in the workshop in different groups. We create an organization itself with different functional units and all, and we understand different challenges. And even in that, maybe I would an example in the recruiting process. Um, how many employees are required, and which are the skills to be acquired, and what are the implications or impacts if we require such and such person and such and such skills. All these things are being simulated technically, um, and that was an experience even without directly interfacing the people in the business, maybe in the organization as such. So that is the most familiar term I have in the point. Um, so the importance of that on all the literature is being discussed here, and also semantics. I think something related to meaning and all. Maybe you know um, with different terms we are using in this era. Types of നമ്മൾ പലപ്പോഴും മറ്റു പല കോണ്ടക്സ്റ്റിൽ ഉപയോഗിച്ചിരുന്ന പല വാക്കുകൾ ഇന്നത്തെ കോണ്ടക്സ്റ്റിലായിട്ട് എനിക്ക് ഭയങ്കരമായിട്ട് മാറുന്നുണ്ട്. അതല്ലെങ്കിൽ ആ, പണ്ട് നമ്മൾ അധികം ശ്രദ്ധിക്കാതിരുന്ന പല വാക്കുകളും ഇന്ന് ശ്രദ്ധിക്കപ്പെടുന്നു, അതിന്റെ ആവശ്യം ക്രിയേറ്റ് ചെയ്യപ്പെടുന്നു. അപ്പം ഇത്തരത്തിൽ ഉള്ള ഒരു ടെക്നോളജി റിലേറ്റഡ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള ആം, ആ, ഒരു കോണ്ടെക്സ്റ്റ് ലിറ്ററേച്ചറിലാണ് നിങ്ങൾ എക്സ്പ്ലോർ ചെയ്യുക. um, I would definitely appreciate um, a faculty development program conducted by the Department of Language and Literature 2 years back. This week itself, Language and Technology. I still remember Professor Dr. Premanand was coordinating that during our COVID period. It was an online faculty development program. So now you have grown from that faculty development program to another national level seminar, same field, and it is the need of the hour. So let me congratulate the department for selecting this topic, and also for arranging such a session for the students in the midst of your department celebration or department fest type. Wish you all the best for this seminar and all the activities and celebrations you are going to have today and tomorrow. With that note, let me thank you.
Thank you, Father. We have with us an exemplary personality, Dr. Arunlal Mukheri, as such a guest. Dr. Arunlal received his doctoral degree from English and Foreign Languages University, Hyderabad. He has translated screenplays of Malayalam films to English for International Shakespeare Studies Dept, headed by Professor Ma Thornton. Dr. Arun Lal has translated to Malayalam the philosophical writings of Bertrand Russell under the title Manushanam Kitchile. He has several published articles and translations to his credit. He currently works as an assistant professor at the Department of English, Government College, Mokiri. It gives me immense pleasure to invite Dr. Arun Lal for the inaugural address. We welcome you, sir.
Good morning, everyone. It is indeed a pleasure to come back to the campus with people who have taught me, people who have learned with me, and people who are learning here now, people who are teaching here, and speak to you in the context of academic deliberation. Because we are talking about language and literature in the context of technology, about that area, about that particular topic. We will come back, like we will have a more elaborate discussion after this inaugural is done. Once this inaugural is done, we have a keynote session. So during the keynote, I will tell you more about, we will speak more about language technology, the way in which artificial intelligence has completely revolutionized our ideas regarding literature, the way we create it, the way we consume it, the way we distribute it has changed. Literature as a product, literature as an aspect of the increasingly consumerist society that we have become. There is an implication. There's a huge implication that technology has in this field. We will talk about that during the keynote session. Now, my task is to create one day national seminar. With immense pleasure, I declare this seminar. The world of technology and the way we create worlds in literature. There has always been a give and take between these two. In fact, we cannot distinguish technology from the way in which literature is created and disseminated. If you think of early human societies, which did not have technology of writing, their literature was taught in the circle of the community that speak a certain language. Translation was not a major access point for oral communities. Translation is also part of print reality. I just wanted to tell you, before we start the keynote, before we actually move into the academic deliberations, we need to look at the idea of technology as such, as a very broad concept. Because technology has a way of becoming invisible. We mark a certain idea, a certain experience as technological, only insofar as it is identified as a new thing in the premises of our life. Like we do not look at fire as technology anymore. We don't look at agriculture as technology anymore. We don't look at writing as technology anymore. We don't even look at internal combustion engine as technology anymore. We look at a car and say, yeah, this is a car. But then there was a time when it was understood internal combustion engine. And somebody looked at a car, they looked at a car as something that has 4 cylinders, used fuel. The technology was visible. But then once cars became the norm of the day, people stopped looking at internal combustion engine. They started looking at car as a car. Like how we look at a pen as a pen, not as a piece of technology. A paper as not a technological product, but just a product of our everyday life. So sometimes what happens is like technology becomes invisible. It just loses the visible tag of technology. Nevertheless, it is technology. You need to understand that as technology. That is when you understand that literature has not always been. Literature, this is not the first phase of human history where literature has come to clash with technological innovations. No. There has been other phases in human history where literature had to come to terms with the way technology. Ready? Importantly, the phase in which writing emerged. Because writing was like like the way people understood stories, the way people transmitted stories from one generation to another. It happened only through like oral communication. So I would remember a words, not a words, like few of words, epics, for instance, mythology, for instance, or knowledge of Vedic knowledge, for instance, Hebrew Bible, for instance. All these are like oral texts, original. They were not written. We say Homer wrote clearly. Homer never wrote clearly. We say Valmiki wrote Ramayana. Valmiki never wrote Ramayana. These were oral texts. These things were never written. These things were originally of a different existence. And that existence was renegotiated when writing became ubiquitous. Everything was absorbed by print modernity and later print capitalism. And we started looking at literature as something that is print. And that is why Marshall McLuhan would call us print-oriented plastics. He looks at the products that we have called, the literature that existed in the world, it was absorbed by print technology, sucked in by the print capitalist networks, and suddenly literature became a print reality. Now we are at the cusp of another technology which seeks to absorb literature into a different modality. The cybernetic world that we are moving into, it will soon consume the print literature. Nobody is interested in print literature anymore. Offered a choice between a textbook and a YouTube video to study a lesson for your exam, which one would you pick up? As far as my students are concerned, I know them, right? Like you have an exam tomorrow, you need to prepare for, yeah, I mean, you're not supposed to prepare for tomorrow's exam today, but that is generally how it happens. So if there is an exam, impending exam, usually the students do not go for, first thing that they do is like they take up a mobile phone, open YouTube, type in that particular text, then there will be like, ever so many people who have uploaded content. That's what they call it. Content regarding this particular text. It could be Wasteland, it could be Great Expectations, it could be Chaucer's Canterbury Tales. Irrespective of the historical division that these things have, irrespective of the sensibility divide that these things can hold in themselves, you have an enormous number of content online. And then remember, like there are people who talk from, say, Stanford University, one professor would be giving a class on Chaucer's Canterbury Tales. There would be somebody from Kuttanallur College, Thrissur, who's talking about Canterbury Tales. Like, you would pick up the lecturer who's talking from Thrissur, because there could be a little Malayalam. I'm talking about, I don't know about you, but my students were pretty forward about all this. Actually, there was a student who came up, like second year exam was going on in Calicut University. This boy who was active in the students' union work and all. So he hardly is present in my classes, but I see him every day. Like he's on campus every day, but he is a ghost in the class. Like his attendance number sometimes is shouted at, but then he never is found in classes. But this fellow, he comes up, says, wait, tomorrow I have this paper, and is it okay for me like read, like watch this video and write it? I have sent him, not just him, the entire class has notes that were sent to them. Classes were taken properly. Okay. But then he thinks that the YouTube video is an authoritative source that can basically educate him regarding the exam, and the entire semester that you spend basically is it. He spends a productive year in students' politics. They had a relationship, so and there was a breakup in the middle of the term. So he spends his time very closely in all this, aspects, and then comes up by the eve of the exam and says, "This YouTube video, I looked at the YouTube video. That was in the paper that he was going to write tomorrow. If he hadn't come to me, he would watch it and go for the exam, and the exam. I don't know this the authority that gives you content has changed. When we were students, like our teachers, two of them are sitting here. Like they were very particular about the notes that they give, especially he would want us to like, copy down things that he considered authoritative. He was sure that this not comes from a certain source, and that source is reliable. and my students should, like me, take up this. That link is perfect. The link of authority that the teacher had regarding the source that he is giving and the source that is received by the students and the authority, the concept of authority that the students had regarding the notes and the content of the speech, that somehow is not broken. Now, more agencies educate them than the teachers who go to the classes. We talk about literature classes, but then the seminar as such is about literature generally. My point was to talk about. I'm not going to like go deep into this idea in this session. This is inaugural. Other people, my teachers themselves, are waiting to talk to you. So I'll not extend this. I'm just trying to tell you that technology is not the smartphone that you have in your hand. Technology is not the recording device that is basically keeping a tab on what I'm speaking here, recording it so that it could be relayed to people who are not sitting here. These are all technologies for us now. But soon, in a matter of a few years, if not already, these have become non-technologies. They've become once something becomes so much a part of our life, it, as I said earlier, loses the tag of technology. It becomes a part of life. It becomes an aspect of your life. You look at it like like food is not technology anymore. Like air is not technology. Food is not technology. Smartphone ceases to become technology. Smartphone is something that you reflexively, like a reflex action. When you wake up early in the morning, you before you open your eyes, you start fumbling for words. You open your eyes and the screen opens itself. Like, sunshine is not something that happens in the sky anymore. It happens. Feel like the day has dawned when the screen has. The sky has lit up. You don't care whether the sky has lit up or not, but as long as the screen itself, you declare that a day. And it is a night when finally you that okay, now give up. Look into the screen. Now I should go to sleep. But even then, for another 1 hour, you would like to drag the day. You would say good night to all your friends, but then you wouldn't say good night to this device. And when you say good night finally to the device sleeps. It's part of the routine. It is the way the world is working. It's the way and this is fairly this will soon lose, I guess, the idea of technology. We still use technology to address this field because new developments are happening. Like every year you have a new iteration of Android. Every year you have a new iteration of iOS. And you think that with Android 14 something has changed, with iOS 17 something has changed. That is why this is still tagged technology. Once this stabilizes, which will soon happen. Now, this will also lose the tag of technology. More interestingly, technology has always given humankind a metaphor to understand itself. The way human beings understand themselves heavily depends on the way, on the kind of technology that they are embedded in. There is a certain register of technology that you are embedded in. If you look into like 19th century, early 20th century, even late 18th century discourses about human anatomy, they would describe human body as a machine. When I have listened to like people of my elder generation talking about their machine getting deployed, my body as a machine has started to rust. See, the elder generation, the generation that went before me, looked at machines as a noisy factory thing which emitted smog. That is how machine existed for them. Machines for us do not exist like that. Our smartphone is not a cylinder cog run for smoke emitting noisy devices. The devices that we use. Machine for us is a different reality. For Charlie Chaplin, machine would be that network of cogs through which the human self is like from. Not anymore. That is not the kind of mission that we are living in. That is not the world of mission that we are basically, putting our lives through. It's a different mission. Look at Freud, and this metaphor is important. Even Sigmund Freud, when he started developing ideas regarding human mind, he uses the metaphor of mission to understand human mind. Human mind works like forces, pressures. You push something here, it comes up there. This is basically the technology, the kind of technology that he was witnessing, the kind of mission that he was witnessing. Now people don't work, like use that terminology to address. We have it's very, if you look at the youngest generation that is alive now, you basically get that idea very clearly. I have a cousin who lives in US. Okay, so like he like he was here, but then after marriage, like both his kids were born in US. So they make it a point to come back to Kerala once a year. Like now, not like years of age, they come once. So these kids do not speak Malayalam well, but the parents insist that they should like use Malayalam when they are here for our sake or something. Like we should understand what they speak. Like they come down, and when they come down to Kerala, they make it a point to go around and see. Like, they Wayanad, they go to like Kochi, they go to backwaters. So this is a routine that they have. Last time when they came to Kerala, like പേര് കണ്ണൻ എന്ന് വിളിക്കുക, അവന്റെ പേര് കണ്ണൻ എന്ന് വിളിച്ചിട്ട് അവനെ കണ്ണൻ എന്ന് ഇവൻ സോ ചേച്ചി എന്നോട് പറഞ്ഞു എല്ലാം കാണിക്കാൻ ഇതൊന്നും കേരളം കണ്ടിട്ടില്ലാത്ത ആളാണ്, ചെറുതാണ്, വളരെ ചെറുതാണ്. പിന്നെ കേരളത്തെ സ്ഥലമൊക്കെ കാണിക്കുക, ഞങ്ങൾ അങ്ങോട്ടൊക്കെ പാടങ്ങളൊക്കെ ഉണ്ട്, പാടത്തൊന്ന് കൊണ്ടുപോകുക. എനിക്ക് കാണാൻ താല്പര്യമാണ്, നെല്ല് നാട്ടി വരുന്നത്, പശു പാല് വരുന്നതൊക്കെ പറയണ പോലെ. സോ വി ബേസിക്കലി ടെൽ എക്സാജറേഷൻ. We take him around. He is basically wonderstruck. He finds everything a wonderful thing. So, ഞാൻ മുൻപേ കണക്കാണ് കുഞ്ഞന്റെ പുറകെ വരുന്നത്. ഇങ്ങനെ ഓരോരോ കാര്യങ്ങൾ ചോദ്യം എനിക്ക് വല്ലാത്ത ഇറിറ്റേഷൻസ് ഉണ്ടാക്കുന്ന കാര്യങ്ങൾ എങ്ങനെ ഇത് പറഞ്ഞു കൊടുക്കണം അറിയാത്തതുണ്ട്. അങ്ങനെ പോകുമ്പോഴാണ് പാടപരമ്പിൽ ഒരു ആമക്കുട്ടി, ആമ കണ്ടിട്ട് ആമ മൊത്തം ഉള്ളിലോട്ട് വരുന്ന ഇവൻ ചോദിച്ചു, മാമ വാട്ട്സ് ദിസ്? പിന്നെ അത് ആമയാണ്. വാട്ട് ഡസ് ദിസ് ഡു? അതൊരു ആമയാണ്. ഇറ്റ് ഡസന്റ് ഡു എനിത്തിങ്, ഇറ്റ് ജസ്റ്റ് മൂവ്സ് അറൗണ്ട്. ലൈക്ക് ടേൺഡ് ഇറ്റ് അപ്പ് ലൈക്ക് അതിനെ അവിടെ വിട്ടേക്ക്, വാ പോവാം. അതിനെ ഇവൻ എന്ത് ചെയ്യുന്നില്ല എനിക്ക് അറിയാത്ത, പോവാൻ പറഞ്ഞിട്ട് ഇവനെ വിളിച്ചു. ശരി എന്നിട്ട് അതിനെ അവിടെ വിട്ടു. ഐ സ്റ്റാർട്ടഡ് വാക്കിംഗ്. ഞാൻ മുമ്പോട്ട് പറഞ്ഞു, കാരണം ഇവൻ എന്റെ പുറകെ തീർന്നത്. അവിടെ നിൽക്കുന്നു, ഇത് വർക്ക് ചെയ്യുന്നു, ഇത് വർക്ക്. ഇപ്പൊ ഇവ കുറെ നേരം കഴിഞ്ഞപ്പോ ഇത് വർക്ക് ചെയ്യുന്നില്ല. അവൻ ഡിവൈസസ് കണ്ടിട്ട് വളരെ കൺഫ്യൂഷനാണ്. ഇത് വർക്ക് ചെയ്യാത്തൊരു സാധനമാണെന്നാണ് അത്ര നേരം വിചാരിച്ചുകൊണ്ടിരുന്നത്. മാമ നമുക്ക് ഇതിനെ കൊണ്ട് എന്താ സംഭവം നോക്കാം. വാട്ട് ഡസ് ദിസ് ഡു എന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ സംഭവം ഇവന് മനസ്സിലാക്കണമെങ്കിൽ ഇത് വർക്ക് ചെയ്യണം. കുറെ സ്വിച്ച് ഒക്കെ ഇവൻ ചെയ്യുന്ന സ്വിച്ച് ഞെക്കുന്നതാണ്. എനിക്ക് മനസ്സിലാവുന്നില്ല. ഞാൻ ആമയെ ഉപദ്രവിക്കേണ്ട, ഞാൻ ആമയോട് പറഞ്ഞു ആമയെ ഓൺ ചെയ്യാനുള്ള പരിപാടി. somehow ആമ turns on. He was very happy. I was thinking the metaphor that he has for life, what he is basically growing up in, the environment that he grows up in, contains like mouse is like not mouse anymore. Mouse is this thing like the mouse. You don't know mouse. So mouse is you have the touch part of the laptop. But then you these words, the way we understand, things take a different turn when technology changes. The metaphors that we use to understand ourselves, our lives, our society, our civilization, those metaphors are important. They take an evolutionary turn as technology transforms itself. More about that, thank you for listening.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable insights, and we look forward to the keynote session to explore your diverse perspective on the topic. I'm delighted to invite Dr. Wilson Rocky, Vice Principal and Associate Professor, Department of English, St. Joseph's College, Devagiri, for the felicitation.
Distinguished guests on the dais, Dr. Arunla, Dr. Sivir, Dr. Sanathan Velua, dear teachers, dear students. First of all, let me begin my speech with a big apology. The other day I was present here in that function, but unfortunately I have to leave abruptly in the speech and listen to their procedure that was happening. Today, I think I'm in charge of the principal. I have another meeting now going on. Directly after my speech, given that program. So another big apology. So thank you. So let me ask you a simple question. What is the happiest moment for a teacher? What will be the happiest moment for a teacher? The day on which he gets his big salary, UGC salary, first of every month. Certainly, that is a moment of happiness. Certainly, I also enjoy that moment. It's a very, very big moment for every month. The first of say, January or February, with a big salary. Many teachers really have a big salary. But that is not the answer expected. What I want to say is the happiest moment for a teacher is the moment when he saw a student returns to the alma mater, returns to the office, choosing where you work as the chief guest of the program. Chief guest. So, as Dr. Arunlal mentioned, he was a student here. I'm so happy that today he's returned to his alma mater, former institution, chief guest. I remember him very clearly, very distinctly as a student. That's what this moment is about. Probably he may remember. There are many incidents, but I'm not going to tell you any bad incidents. Only good incidents will be narrated. Courtesy. So what I remember is this. I think when he was the MS, certainly there was a big change in syllabus. A number of tougher topics entered the syllabus. I remember even now title of that paper, theory. Now it may be there as an ordinary paper. It was very strange in 2004. A very tough, rough nut to crack. It was certainly a rough nut to crack. And somehow, the task of teaching Derrida, I hope you're familiar with that. Very, very. So the task of teaching MA students, the structure, sign and play, human sciences, fell on my courses. I was really surprised. I have no idea of this particular author. I've heard of some grammatology or terms like the difference, etc. Following sign. So what I did, teachers, it's a secret. It's a trade secret. We have a top secret. What is it? When we get a very tough topic and we are confident, what we do, hand over the topic, we divide the topic among the students, and we give the most tough topics to the best students. So what I did was the same thing. Tell anybody, when you become teachers, it's my request. Try to become teachers. It's a very good option. I want not good salary. So I'm getting retired on the 31st of July after 21 years of service here. I was a student here 5 years. So probably after 36 years, I'm getting retired. So my request, I can make a request. So teachers, that's the profession in the world. Try to become teachers. If you have an eye for the world around you, as the Arunlal mentioned, it's small. Uh, and I think the story of the tortoise, certainly. Okay, I will use it in another context. So my story as my small state, and I accompanied him and I mystery of certain advantage of attending such meetings. Certainly, I'll make you so it's such a precious gem. So yeah, I read answers, copyright. I think he wanted the trouble with the copyright. I'm pretty sure I know him very well. So what I did was I handed over this particular document to my best student in the class. I don't know. And 2 or 3 days he came with a summary, and that is an excellent summary. And when I read it, I understood what is deconstruction. So we learn from students what is wrong in it. Not at all ashamed of it. Probably if I'm a it's up to the students and the teachers, the money, right? If I'm a success, it's because I learn something from the students. Certainly, one asks, I'm asked to learn so many things from Legos or sorry, my students. Cannot elaborate. I think you, HOD, you're my close friend. You can not elaborate on it. It's more you know. So he may probably just call me for speech. Good. What I want to say is this is a very precious and new topic, the AI. Experience idea about AI, artificial intelligence. But this year, I mean, a new teacher. my teacher joined the department. Somehow I got interested in the topic and handed off the mobile phone to her. She installed an